ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. It is such a wonderful thing that so many festivals keep coming in our life, especially in the life of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and especially in the life of ISKCON devotees, just so that all of us can absorb ourselves in the glories of the Lord and His devotees. Because without our absorption in the glories of the Lord and His devotees, there is no question of purification. How will we get purified? After all, we are here in the material world because of contamination. And if we get purified, we'll be able to make our way back home, back to Godhead. And the easiest way of purification is coming together like this, in congregation, and discussing Krishna Katha. More we hear about the glories of the Lord, more we hear about the glories of devotees, more we'll get purified and more will be inspired to enthusiastically carry out practice of devotional service. Sometimes this question comes that what attracted Narasimhadeva so much? That he came all the way from the pillar. He came out of the pillar just for that 5-year-old boy. What was that attracted Narasimhadeva so much? That is what is our today's discussion. More we discuss about what was that attracted the Lord, more we can develop those qualities in ourselves so that we can also attract Lord's mercy. So we'll be discussing from Canto 7, Chapter 4, Text 30 onwards. The scene is very nice. It is a huge yajna that is taking place. And the Yajman of the yajna, or the leader of the yajna, is Yudhishthir Maharaj. And Narada Muni is speaking. He is the speaker. Yudhishthir Maharaj is the main personality who is hearing, and obviously there are so many other people also. Krishna is also there in that assembly. But Krishna is not allowed to speak. Narada is speaking. Now when Narada is speaking, it is so fascinating. Narada Muni is the guru of Prahlad Maharaj, and Narada Muni, being the guru, he is speaking about the disciple and he is glorifying the disciple. This is not an ordinary thing. So Narada Muni begins. He begins glorifying Prahlad. He begins with this, his introduction. Who is this boy Prahlad? Tasya daita pate putras Chatvarah paramadbhutah Praharado bhunmahamstesham Gunair mahadupasakah Tasya daita pate putras Chatvarah paramadbhutah. So Chatvarah, 4. There were 4 sons of Hiranyakashipu, and all of them they were wonderful. You all know their names? One you know. Amazing. Prahlad. Other 3 were Samlada, Anulada, and Lada. So these are the other 3. Common is Lada. H-L-A with a line D-A. Lada. So Samlada, Anulada, Lada, and Prahlad. And they also had a sister, and her name was Simhika. That was the name of sister. What was the wife's name of Hiranyakashipu? Kayadu. So this is the entire family of Hiranyakashipu. What else is told? Praharado abhum maham stesham gunair mahad upasaka. Mahad upasaka. He was a great devotee of the Lord. And therefore, he was the best among all the four in terms of gunaha, in terms of qualities. Srila Prabhupada, many times he quotes the shloka and he says, if you practice devotional service, naturally all divine qualities will manifest. Yashasti bhaktir bhagvatya kinchana sarvair gunes tatra samasate surah harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathena satithavato bahi. Anyone who is practicing devotional service with time, he will develop divine qualities. And even if seemingly a non-devotee has good qualities, it cannot sustain for long. Why? His mind is wandering here and there behind sense gratification. The qualities will not remain for long. Very soon, the qualities will go away. Therefore, it is very safely concluded non-devotees don't have any good quality. Only devotees have good quality. So here Prahlad, just imagine, he's such a great devotee. And he is the one who is glorified for having wonderful qualities. And Narada Muni, glorifying Prahlad, his own disciple, he says, Gunair alam asankhyair mahatmyam tasya suchyate. He is saying, my disciple Prahlad, he has got innumerable qualities. Innumerable qualities. And therefore, he is a great soul, he is a Mahatma. Don't you think this is an achievement for a disciple where the spiritual master is saying, my disciple, my disciple has got innumerable qualities, therefore he is called as Mahatma. Every disciple, should have this desire that I should develop nice Vaishnava qualities so that my spiritual master will be pleased with me. See, spiritual master will be pleased with all our quantum of services that we do, no doubt. He will be pleased. But he will be more pleased when we develop Vaishnava qualities. Therefore, each and every Vaishnava, each and every aspiring Vaishnava should always have this desire that even I want to develop Vaishnava qualities. Prabhupada will surely be pleased, no doubt about that. His desire is very important. Many of the times in the community of devotees, why enviousness comes into picture, why jealousy, why there is so much of negativity at times? Because the desire is not clear, the goal is not clear. We think only if I achieve something and that is told to my spiritual master, then only he'll get to know and then he'll glorify me. He'll appreciate me. But that's not the case. If we develop Vaishnava qualities, cultivate Vaishnava qualities, Krishna will convey that to the spiritual master because he is there in our heart, he is there in his heart also. Therefore, it doesn't matter, are you in background, are you in forefront, it doesn't matter. What matters is Vaishnava qualities. Look at Narada Muni. I was just trying to comprehend how much proud Narada Muni is feeling. How much proud he is saying, my disciple has innumerable qualities. Therefore, he is Mahatma. Then he starts describing the qualities of Prahlad. Disclaimer, these qualities might pinch us and kill us also. Because these qualities are so wonderful and unfortunately we might not possess. So we might feel the pain today. There are total 16 in number. 16 qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. And let's see if we can aspire, if we can get some inspiration to aspire to develop these qualities today. 31. Brahmanya Shila Sampannaha Satya Sandho Jitendriyaha Atmavat Sarva Bhutana Eka Priya Suruttamaha. So here it is said, first thing, Brahmanya. He was a cultured Brahmana. Who is superior? Vaishnava is superior, Brahmana is superior? Sure. Sure wala sure. Haribol. It means you are hearing Prabhupada's lectures. Yes. So Prabhupada is very clear on this, that a Vaishnava is superior than a Brahmana. See, a Brahmana is the one who will have various different qualities. Tell me one shloka which talks about qualities of Brahmana. Yes. Shamo, Dama, Tapa, Shaucham. Okay. Shantir, Arjam, Avevacha. Jnanam, Vijnanam, Astikyam, Brahma, Karma, Swabhavajam. How many times Prabhupada quotes this, no? He says, Shama. What does that mean? Shamaha. Mind control. He's peaceful. He's peaceful. Damaha. Self-control. His senses are under control. Tapaha. Austere. Shauchaha. Cleanliness. Shante. Tolerance. Tolerance. Yes. Arjavam. Straightforward, simple, or honest. These are different words we can use. Jnanam. Vijnanam. Realized knowledge or wisdom. Yes. Astikyam. Religious. The person is religious. So these are different qualities of a Brahmana. What makes a Vaishnava special is that he is the ardent devotee of Lord Krishna. He just wants to serve Krishna. That makes him very special. And he's above a Brahmana. Above a Brahmana. Therefore, the first thing is Brahmanya. And this quality of Brahmanya also includes one very, very important point. He's devoted to knowledge. Which knowledge? Spiritual knowledge. He's devoted to spiritual knowledge. So he has the qualities of a Brahmana, and at the same time, he's devoted to the spiritual knowledge. Therefore, he's a cultured, qualified Brahmana, Prabhupada says. Sheela Sampanna, what does that mean? Okay, good qualities. A good character. Having a very good character. So Prahlad Maharaj had a very, very wonderful character. Tell me one shloka from Bhagavad Gita which has the word Sheela. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. So this word Sheela encompasses all this. Vidya, Vinaya. Naturally the person is knowledgeable and he's very, very humble. And that's how he has an equal vision on the spiritual platform where he's able to see spirit, soul and not just bodies. Prahlad Maharaj was there on this position. Third quality, Satya Sandho. Satya Sandho means he's very determined to understand the absolute truth. Very determined. See, unless and until we don't desire, we are not determined to understand Krishna, it's not possible to understand Krishna. One has to be determined. At times people say, Humse na ho payega. It's very difficult. How will we understand Krishna? Yes, we cannot understand Krishna. That's a fact. We cannot understand Krishna. But the desire and determination is very important. Because when we have that, it will be manifest in the form of actions, sadhana and seva. And when Lord is pleased, He will reveal Himself to us. Then we can understand Krishna. Therefore, determination is very, very important. Very, very important. Therefore, when Rupa Goswami is talking about the 6 limbs or 6 activities which helps the person to advance, in that he says, Utsahan, Nishchayad, Dhairya. One should have confidence, one should be determined. Now, I want to understand Krishna. I want to realize Krishna. I want to attain Krishna. This determination is very, very important. Prabhupada said, there is only one word that is needed to go back home, back to Godhead, and that word is desire. Desire is that word, desire. So one has to have an intense desire. One should be determined to attain that particular desire. Very, very important. And also means, Satya Sandha also means true to his promise. If he promises something, he will do it. Sometimes, unfortunately, we might promise, but we break the promise. Yes. But we should make sure if we promise, we do it. Especially, you know what? When we are in this attire, yes, even if the color is not orange, both bottom and top, yes, tilak, kanti, and this attire of dhoti, kurta, sari, that itself is enough. Where expectation of people goes to the next level. As soon as people see us, as if, we have got 4 hands or something like that. Yes, holding Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. Their expectation is next level, ekdam next level. They expect that you have to be really very divine, extremely divine. And especially, when, say, a devotee, he lies in some situation and he's caught by outsider. The outsiders feel, what sort of people they are? Dhongi hai, dhongi. Bogus people. This is what happens. Therefore, it doesn't matter where you are. Are you in the office? Are you in devotee circle? Are you in your family circle? Wherever you are. Very important to be truthful. Very important, to fulfill one's promise. Now, you'll have n number of questions on this. We'll discuss at the end, if any. But still, we should try our best to make sure we follow this. Because Prahlad Maharaj's quality is this. Satya Sandaha. He's true to his promise. Fourth quality is Jitendriyaha. What do you mean by Jitendriyaha? Yes. The one who has controlled his senses. And the king of the senses is mind. Now, Prabhupada writes a very important point here. See, we said we should be determined to understand absolute truth. Prabhupada says that to understand the absolute truth, one needs to have full control over his senses and mind. How's that? To understand the absolute truth, one should have full control over his senses and mind. Prabhupada's statement. Therefore, even in Nectar of Instruction, the first verse that comes, it talks about mind control and sense control. Sometimes devotees feel that is the ultimate goal. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam. But that's not ultimate goal. That's the first step. That's the first step to advance in Krishna consciousness. Everyone knows the shloka? Okay, please repeat. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam. Jivha vegam udara upastha vegam. Etan vegan yo vishaheta dhiraha. Sarvam api mam prithvim sashishya. So here it is said there are 6 urges that we will have. These 6 urges we should try to control. And if we control these 6 urges, then comes the next step. Then comes the next step to advance in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, it is described that Nectar of Instruction is a small book, but it's a big bomb. Small book. You know how many shlokas are there in Nectar of Instruction? 11. That's it. 11. In my initial days of Krishna consciousness, this was told to me that the small book is Nectar of Instruction, but it's a very, very big thing to achieve. To implement these 11 verses, it will take good amount of time. And it has to be sequential. One semester, and the next semester, and the 11th semester. And when you see the last few shlokas, it talks about attaining one's relationship with Krishna in a particular mood and residing in Sri Vrindavan, especially on the banks of Radhakund, which is the cherished, long cherished place of a Gaudiya Vaishnava. So we might talk about staying in Radhakund, staying in Vrindavan. So in one of the conversations, Prabhupada is saying, before you talk about the 8th verse of Nectar of Instruction, first fulfill the first verse. Control the 6 urges. Then we'll talk about the 8th verse. See, why is it now in Dham so much of chaos takes place? Why? Because the first verse is not followed. As simple as that. Therefore, now, one devotee was saying that obviously there is 100% bhakti in Dham, but there is 99% Maya also. Yes. Because unfortunately, people know that finally we should stay in Vrindavan. But they don't know the first step to that is the 6 urges have to be controlled. Yes. One should try. One should try to control. At least begin. What are the 6 urges? Vacho vegam means urge of speaking. We should control our speech. Most of the time, because of this only, all relationships get spoiled. Only because of this speech. So urge of speech should be controlled. Second, mind. Manasa vegam. The urge of mind. Mind will take us each and every place, will connect different things and then portray something. No, we should control. Saying no. I don't want to go around like this. I want different ride altogether. Manasa. Then next, Krodha Vegam, urge of anger. Is that easy? Yes. It's not easy. But then we can try. See, finally, each and every one of us sitting here, we have a goal. We want to attain Krishna Prem this life. One of my mentors was telling me, if you have decided to go towards Himalaya, why fear cold? It will be cold anyways. Temperature will be low. So if you have decided to go, so what's the point of fearing the temperature will be low? Similarly, if you have decided that in this life you want to attain Krishna Prem, why hesitate to do some activities? Why not do it properly? Why not do it properly? इतना कुछ तो छोड़ के आ गए हम लोग. कितना कुछ छोड़ दिया. Yes? Now, why hesitate? Why is that ego comes in between and then we are not able to control our anger and then we just burst out and again it takes a long time to settle and then while chanting we know what happens. So this is Krodha Vegam is very, very important. We need to control this urge of becoming angry. Krodha Vegam. Next, Jivha Vegam. That is urge of tongue. This boneless muscle in the mouth, it wants to eat so many things. Therefore, Prabhupada says you should eat only prasad. You should eat only prasadam. And when you honor only prasadam, tongue will be under control. What sort of prasadam and all we'll discuss in some other session. First come to the level of only prasadam. Then we'll talk about what sort of prasadam. Jiva Vegam. Udara Vegam. Stomach. Belly. What's the difference between the tongue and belly? More. And tongue? Taste. So quality, quantity. Simple. Quality, quantity. Yes. So we want to eat different items, so that our tongue, gets nice titillation. And when it comes to stomach, we want to overeat. Yes. We want to eat more. So quality, quantity. Yes. Jiva Vegam, Udara Vegam, Upastha Vegam, the urge of genitals. So again, there's a very, very critical thing to control one's sex desire. But one has to do that. Because celibacy is the first step to advance in Krishna consciousness. As soon as the word tapa comes, immediately brahmacharya word joins. Immediately. Observe, in various purports of Prabhupada, wherever the word tapasya comes, immediately brahmacharya will come there. So brahmacharya is very, very important. Abstaining from sex is something that one has to follow. Apart from begetting kids, it's not allowed. Jitendriya. See, this is the first step, which we have to do so that we start advancing more and more and more. Prahlad Maharaj was Jitendriya. We are expected to practice at least to do that particular thing. Jitendriya, fourth quality. Fifth quality is Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam Eka Priya Suruttamaha. Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam means Prahlad Maharaj was like Paramatma. Tell me, what's the quality of Paramatma? Is overseas. So Prahlad Maharaj is not going to oversee. Come on. Okay, he's well-wisher. So Paramatma is actually a well-wisher. He's our best friend. You see, even if we leave this human form and we enter into the body of the worm in the stool, still Paramatma comes with us. So Paramatma is there in each and everyone's body. He's there in the body of a dog eater, in the body of a cow, in the brahmana, everyone. He doesn't make any distinction. He's equal to all of them. And like that, Prahlad Maharaj was equal to all of them. Therefore, it is described, a devotee, he has this quality where he becomes very dear to anyone and everyone. In Shad Goswami Astakam, it is said, Dhira dhira jana priya priya karo nirmatsara pujito. Dhira and adhira. The ones who are sober people and the ones who are ruffians, rowdies, both of them, they like a devotee. They like a devotee. We had one devotee called Jayananda Prabhu. Everyone knows Jayananda Prabhu? Jayananda Prabhu is connected to which festival in ISKCON? Ratha Yatra festival. As soon as you see a Ratha, you should remember Jayanand Prabhu, because he began under the instruction and guidance of Prabhupada. Therefore, we put Jayanand Prabhu's photo on the Rath also. When Jayanand Prabhu left this world, it is described many people, it's a foreign country, they were expressing that how much sad and how much suffering they're going through. They were feeling so much of agony in separation, from Jayanand Prabhu. Even some rowdies were crying. Vegetable walas were crying. Other vendors were crying. Because Jayanand Prabhu was so dear to all of them. And you know what? Jayanand Prabhu was the temple president of that temple. You can imagine how dear the devotee is when he practices bhakti properly, and then when he imbibes the Vaishnava qualities, naturally becomes very attractive for anyone and everyone. And that's how our Goswamis were. See, our Goswamis were renunciants. But in Vrindavan, in Brajabhumi Sri Vrindavan, Brajavasis, married couple, they would come to Sanatan Goswami to sort out their household issues. Bataiye, Brajavasis are coming to a person who was not part of Braja at some point of time. He didn't take birth in Braja as such. He was sent from Bengal to Vrindavan. But Brajavasis are saying that you please sort out this problem for us. Can you imagine how dear the acharyas or devotees become when they develop these qualities? Like that. Or Prahlad Maharaj was like that. So devotees don't hate anyone. They're equal to everyone. In terms of what? Okay, respecting everyone. In terms of distributing Krishna consciousness to everyone. Like when we are on the streets, so we don't see, iske paas jao ki nahi jao, uske paas jao ki nahi. We just go. We just go to anyone and everyone on the street and we ask. That's what is expected also. It's not that someone who is dressed very nicely, we go to that person. All my misconceptions were removed at one point. When there was a book table at Marathali with this group only. I was there. There was one drunkard, was moving. And he was going around, and then I was getting this question, should I approach him or no? At one point I was thinking, what's the point? He's not in his senses only. What's the point of approaching? But then I remembered this. Equally we have to approach everyone and give opportunity for Krishna consciousness. I went and I approached him. I showed him the Bhagavad Gita, Kannada Bhagavad Gita. He's looking. And then he agreed that he'll take. He said, wait, I have one problem. I have to travel from here to Banshankari. For that I need money. I said, how much ever you can give, you give. I asked him, what's the cost of the ticket? He said something. I said, except that you give rest of it. So now the drunkard, he started thinking. I was looking at his face. And then he said, okay, take. He told me, take from my pocket. You can imagine a person in saffron clothes putting hand in someone else's pocket. I did that. I put removed, and then some amount I put it back. I gave him the book, and again moving, swaying on the street, he got into the bus. There's no question of saying that I'll not approach this person or that person. Equally we approach everyone. Because finally, as devotees, we have to follow the mode of our acharyas. And their mode is, there's no question of saying patra, apatra, who is qualified and who is not qualified. Because when we were not qualified, even now we are not qualified, but when we are utterly not qualified, some people came to us and they gave us the message of Krishna consciousness. And now it's our turn to distribute it equally. And that was the mode of Prahlad Maharaj. Therefore it is said, Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam. He was like a super soul. Eka Priya Surattamaha. He was friend and well-wisher of everyone. That's the fifth quality. Now, Shloka 32. Dasavat Sannataryangrihi Pitrivad Dina Vatsalaha Bhatravat Sadrishe Snigdho Guru Shvishwara Bhavanaha Vidyartha Rupa Janmadhyo Manastamba Vivarjitaha. Now these are some other qualities. Dasavat. Sannata, Arya, Angrihi. So those people who were very respectable, he would just act like a menial servant for them. Pitrivat Dina Vatsalah. And those who were poor, who were lower than him, he would act like a genuine father with concern. And Bhratrivat Sadrishe Snigdo. And with equals, what was his mood? He was like a sympathetic brother. This was his mood. So he was acting like a menial servant for the ones who are superiors. For the ones who are lower, in terms of age or qualification or whatever, he would act like a father. And for equals, like a brother. We have a similar description given in 4th canto also. Very nice shloka. Gunadikan mudam lipset, anukrosha gunadhamat, maitrim samanad anvichen, nata paira vibhuyate. It is said, Gunadikan mudam lipset. So when you see a person who is more qualified than you, who is doing better than you, what should be your mood? What should be your mood? Become envious. I don't have, even he shouldn't have. That's what is the mood of the materialist. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, when we see someone who is superior than us, who is more qualified, who is better than us, we should feel very happy with him. We should feel very happy with him. Bataiye, when you see someone superior than you in terms of whatever, do you feel happy? No, answer mat do. Just ask yourself. I know the answer. Very, very important. Just imagine, we are talking about attracting Lord Narasimhadeva, Lord Krishna. This is one of the qualities that we need to imbibe. When we see someone superior than us, when it comes to qualities, when it comes to qualification, when it comes to their advancement in bhakti, even if we have come together in bhakti, but someone goes higher, our equal becomes higher, we should feel that bliss. And in the community of devotees, when we have this one quality, you will see how wonderful the entire community will be. Everyone will be happy. Everyone will be happy. Everyone will be blissful. Gunadikan mudam lipset, anukrosha guna adhamat. Say someone who is lower than us. What should be our mood towards them? Bossy. Me. Useless. Yeah? So Prabhu is saying compassion. Yes, we should be merciful. We should be compassionate to them. That's how Prahlad Maharaj, he was acting like a father for those who were lower than him. You see? And for the ones who are higher than him, he would serve. He would be a menial servant. Maitrim samana dhanvichain, and when someone is equal, our equal, then what are we supposed to do? We should have friendship. And friendship means not boasting oneself. Very, very important thing. That's the important quality of friendship. Not boasting oneself about whatever good you have. Now someone might think, why all this is needed in spiritual discussions? Spiritual discussions happens in the group of devotees. And to sustain in the group of devotees, you need to have this. If you don't have this basic etiquette of how to deal with seniors, equals and juniors, we cannot be part of devotee association for a long time. We'll have tough time. And then people would say that, devotees would say that, I don't feel this congregation is good. I'll go to some other place, some other congregation. Now from there, some other organization. From there, change the path from spirituality back to materialism. We are going to Golok and then you take a U-turn, now you go to hell. Just imagine. Therefore it is said, just by following these three, na tapaira vibhuyate. The three tapa, adi bhautik, adi daivik, adhyatmik, or any suffering for that matter, will not remain in the life of a devotee if he knows how to deal with seniors, equals and juniors. And Prahlad Maharaj knew that very well. Menial servant, brother for equals, and for juniors he was like a father, Pitrivat. And then very beautifully it is given here. Guru Shu Ishwara Bhavana. Very simple. What does that mean? Guru Shu Ishwara Bhavana. Yes. He was treating one's own spiritual master as Lord. Can we remove Krishna's photo and put Guru Maharaj's photo there? No, that's what is said, no? He was treating Guru equal to Lord. So I can just remove Krishna's photo and put Guru's photo there. But we'll put a big one. No? Why? Huh? Okay, respect similar to Guru. Correct. Anything else? Huh? Guru is Jiva Tattva. Can Jiva ever become Ishvara? No. No, never it will happen that a Jiva has become Ishvara. Can Tathashta Shakti become Antaranga Shakti? No. Similarly, a Jivatma can never become Paramatma. Yes. Yesterday only in one of the session, in the evening one day, one boy came to me and he asked, so what is that concept of Atma becoming Paramatma? I said there's no concept like that. And there was a big question mark on his face. And then there's no concept like that. Actually, there is no concept like that. Atma can never become Paramatma. Kana can never become Vibhu. A drop can never become ocean. So all the devotees should be very clear with this point. Guru can never become Krishna, but the respect that we give to Guru is like that of Krishna till the point. Conditions apply. It's not unconditional. Conditions apply. What's the condition? Till the point he represents Krishna. He follow the steps. Okay. When he becomes a transparent via medium, till the point he repeats the instruction of the parampara, we accept him and we give him respect as that of Krishna. As soon as he doesn't, we reject Guru. Very nice. One instruction he didn't repeat, you will reject Guru. You have to reject the instruction, Haribol, not reject Guru. Sometimes it won't happen, no? After all, no, he is also there, as a Jiva Tattva. And he is there in the material body. He's trying to do a nice service, is much elevated than us. Sometimes it might happen, by mistakenly, he might give some instruction which might not be proper. So we should have that. By the way, those devotees who have spent a good amount of time in Bhakti, who are initiated, they should have this concept very clear. We follow those instructions of the Guru which are in line with Parampara. And if there is one instruction which is not matching with the instruction of Parampara, we reject that instruction. Humbly. Not that we go and tell, kya phaltu instruction diya? Hurt! Very respectfully, without telling, we just don't follow. As simple as that. Yes. Very, very important. And if you really want to go and cross-check, you cannot go and say that this instruction is not proper. You cannot say that. What can you say? We should ask. As a junior, we always have the right to ask questions. We should always ask. Guru Maharaj, I heard so-and-so Acharya is saying this, but you said this. How to understand? Bas itna hi, zyada nahi kuch nahi. How to understand? And Guru Maharaj says that chupchap follow karo. Then internally we say, yes Guru Maharaj, chupchap I will not follow. This particular instruction I will not follow. But that doesn't mean that you reject the Guru. Yes. Obviously, if he's a deviant, then we have to reject. I hope this concept is clear. Very important concept, especially for those devotees who have spent some good number of years and already initiated in Krishna consciousness. Now, the next quality, 10th quality is Manastamba Vivarjitaha. Means, he is not proud. He is not proud. He is not proud of what? Vidya, Artha, Rupa, Janma, Adi. Yes. Vidya means education. So he is not proud of his education. Second, Artha, wealth. He is not proud of the wealth that he possesses. Can you imagine? Prahlad Maharaj was Rajkumar. How much wealth he had. But he was not proud of that. Rupa, beauty. He was very beautiful. It seems Prahlad Maharaj's complexion was that of Krishna's complexion. He was extremely beautiful. Rupa. Janma, high birth, aristocracy. So Prahlad Maharaj was not proud of any of it. He was free from this pride. And it's very important for devotees to be free from this pride. Anyways, you don't have any of it. Education. When it comes to Shastra, we are illiterate. Sanskrit to aata nahi hame. Education. Riches. Maximum is what will you have? Some extra room in your house. That's it. Yes, which is not used. And what? Yes. Beauty. Just wait for some time. Just wait for some time. The mirror reflection will keep changing. And what about birth? We were begotten without any Garbhadan Samskar. I guess. We come from a background, which is a non-devotee background. Where is the question of being proud of all this? But still you will see, mind will trick, mind will say, but you are more richer than that devotee. You look much better than that devotee. Arey, what will you do with all that? Will Krishna be pleased with all this? What's the point? So Prahlad Maharaj had full clarity on this, that all these things cannot please Krishna. So what's the point of being proud of that? There's only one pride that the devotee should have, and that is Haribol. I'm servant of Krishna. And for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, I'm a Gaudiya. Yes, I'm a Gaudiya Vaishnava. So that pride is okay. Provided you're doing justice to your role, then it's okay. But no other pride is entertained in Krishna consciousness. Okay, what were the other qualities that Prahlad had? 33. Nodvigna chitto vyasaneshu nispriha Shruteshu drishteshu guneshva vastudre Dantendriya prana shariradi sada Prashanta kamo rahita suro surah Nodvigna chitto vyasaneshu. Whenever he was put in some dangerous situation, he was not agitated. Now the qualities are going a little higher. Huh? When he was put in any dangerous situation, he was not agitated. And we have a big proof for that. How much Hiranyakashipu tortured him or tried to torture him. But he was not agitated. What's the sign that he was not agitated? He was able to always remember Krishna. He was able to chant the holy names of the Lord. Therefore, this one important quality, which we see in Prahlad Maharaj, he was not agitated when he was put in dangerous situation. Why he was not agitated? Why he was not agitated? He was completely surrendered. He was completely surrendered to Krishna. When I say a person is completely surrendered to Krishna, which aspect of surrender is important here in this discussion? Krishna will protect me in all situations. Rakshishiti de Vishwasah. Krishna will protect me in all situations. Why should I bother? Why should I bother? That's the mood of a devotee. And we see this exemplary mood of Prahlad Maharaj. He was not at all agitated in any dangerous situation that he was put in. Just imagine if you have a dead snake besides, will run away from that place. Or if someone puts a dead snake on you. And just imagine live big cobras. Room full of cobras and much bigger snakes were there. And Prahlad was put in that. And Prahlad was still able to chant the holy names of the Lord. And he was able to convert those envious snakes also into devotees. That's the power of a devotee. Anyways, don't try this at home. Because we are not Prahlad. See, we will not be able to do all this. You know why? You know why? Because surrender to baad mein aayega. Uske pehle. I already spoke in the class. Desire to theek hai. Desire hona chahiye. Those six urges, we are not practicing much as of now. Those six urges have to come under control. Then you will see slowly and steadily next clarity will come. Then surrender becomes easy. Otherwise very difficult. Very difficult. Next one. Nispriya shruteshu drishteshu guneshu. He was not at all desiring to hear or see sense objects. Or he was not very keen about the Vedic rituals that will give him more riches or luxury, more enjoyment. He was not very keen about that. You know why a devotee is not keen about all this? Why? Why he does not desire that, I want to see something, hear something, and I want to get more luxury, more enjoyment. Why? Huh? He gets more. Oh, he understands he gets more entangled? Okay, and? He gets more enjoyment where? In Krishna consciousness. See, he has only one desire, and that desire that is there in his heart is, I want to serve Krishna. So, anything else apart from service to Krishna, he becomes very disinterested in that. What's the point? Okay, I'll see something good. What's the point? Sometimes people go to some place for sightseeing. But devotee, what will I do going there, seeing some mountains and trees and all that? Yes. What's the point? What's the point of hearing some soothing instrumental music? What's the point? Nowhere it's connected to Krishna. I'm not able to remember Krishna. What's the point? You see? So devotee will not be interested in anything which does not connect with Krishna, which is not meant for service of Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj was doing that. Little more higher than this is the next one. Avastu Drik. He considered everything material to be useless. Easy, to follow? Everything material to be useless. And therefore, he was completely devoid of material desires. Again, the same point. That I might have various material possessions with me. But always this question can be asked, will these things take me closer to Krishna? Will these things take me closer to Krishna? And the answer is no. Then what's the point? So Prahlad Maharaj was at this level where he was considering anything and everything material to be useless. Because that material thing is not going to take me closer to Krishna. Yes. One of the things that all of us devotees, especially preachers, should meditate on is the material name, fame, prestige is not going to take us closer to Krishna. One very senior devotee was saying, why are you striving to become famous in this world? It's still material. If you really want to become famous, become famous in that world. Do certain activities in such a way that you become famous in that world, so that Krishna recognizes you. We have to remind ourselves again and again about this point because it's so material. And it is so sticky. It has got stuck to our existence that we aspire. Maybe gross things we might not be attached to, but subtle things we get attached to. Recently I heard one quote of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Someone circulated. If you have a drop of desire for respect, you cannot go back home back to Godhead. Oh my God, so this life, can you imagine drop? Maharaj is saying drop. Isn't it a long way to go? Yes. But we have hope. Because when we hear about these devotees, we develop desire that no, I have to do this. Even I have to imbibe these qualities. Kitna zyada nahi, 16 hi hai keval. Only 16. Yes. Like we do 16 rounds, like that we have 16 qualities here. Only 16. As I started the class with, desire is very important. Desire that, I want to attain these qualities someday. Oh Krishna, please help me. And Krishna will do the needful. He'll arrange all the situation, circumstance to achieve all these 16 qualities. 14th. Dantendriya prana sharira dhi sada. He always controlled his senses, life, air, body and intelligence. See, this is similar to already the one which we have discussed. Which one? Jitendriya. It is similar. But Narada Muni, ecstatically, he is describing again second time. Just imagine how important this quality of sense control, mind control, self-control is. That Narada Muni is again repeating this point. There was no need, but he is repeating this point again. Next, Prashanta Kamaha. Prashanta Kamaha. He has subdued all the lusty desires. Desires for sense gratification. yet subdued all those desires for sense gratification. How can someone do this? By surrendering to Krishna. Always use your senses in service of Krishna. See, if you want to stop sense gratification, where will you engage your senses then? You have to engage it somewhere. And those senses should be engaged in service of Krishna. Then senses in our service will no more be present. Because we always will consider senses are only meant for service of Krishna, not for my pleasure. So in this way, when a devotee advances, naturally he wants to use every kana of his body in service of the Lord. And trust me, we all have to reach this stage that every cell of the body should be used in service of the Lord. It might be little more to hear, but we need to attain this state, and it's not very difficult. If a devotee is very sincere, Krishna will bless him with this mood. Because after all, it's a gift. In every situation, you just think about serving Krishna, it's a gift. And surely Krishna will gift. But this desire is very, very important. That I want to gratify Krishna's senses and not my senses. You take, for example, Prabhupada's life. You analyze Prabhupada's life. Everywhere Prabhupada had only this goal, this mode. That I want to please my Guru and Krishna, the entire parampara. This was the only mood that he had. He hardly took care of his body also. He was ready to stay in the big LA temple, the Los Angeles temple. He was ready to stay in a hut in Mayapur. He was ready to stay in a hut in Bhubaneswar. He was ready. Because for him, his sense gratification was not important. For him, gratification of Krishna's senses, Guru's senses was more important. Therefore, when we have that as a priority, like Prahlad had, then the other things, sense gratificatory desires will go away. 16th quality is Rahita Suro Suraha. He was born in an Asura family, but he was not an Asura. What's the quality of Asura which makes him an Asura? Asura, demonic is a synonym of Asura. That is another synonym of Asura, non-devotee. What is that quality which makes a Asura Asura? Okay, doesn't follow scriptures. Envious of Krishna. They're envious, naturally envious. So demons are naturally envious of Krishna and his devotees. Naturally envious. And Prahlad Maharaj was not envious of devotees. He was not envious of the Lord. Very, very important quality of not being envious of devotees and that of Lord as well. So these are the 16 qualities. We'll just quickly revise and then go through some more shlokas which talks about glories of Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, first, Brahmanya. Okay, what does that mean? Oh, he was a cultured Brahmana. Yes, having Brahmanical qualities. Cultured, qualified Brahmana. Okay, second, Sheela Sampanna. Okay, he had a good character, knowledgeable, humble. He had a very good character. Satya Sandho. He was determined. He was determined to know the absolute truth. And he'll fulfill the promise. Very nice. Fourth, Jitendriya. Control senses. And we spoke elaborately. Vacho Vegam. That wonderful verse. Yes, all that we spoke. Six urges. Fifth one. Yes, Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam. He's like Paramatma, well-wisher of everyone, best friend of everyone. Sixth, Dasavat, Sannata, Arya, Angrihi. Menial servant to his superiors. Second, Pitrivat Tina Vatsalah. Father to the ones who are lower than him, poor. Eighth, Bhratrivat, Sadrisho Snigdho. Okay, he was for equals, he was like a brother, affectionate brother. 9. Guru Shu Ishwara Bhavana. He would give respect to Guru as that of Lord himself, Ishwara. Mana Stambha Vivarjitaha. He was free from pride. Even when he had education, wealth, beauty, aristocracy, still he was not proud. 11. Yes, he was not agitated even in the most dangerous situation. Nodvigna chitto vesaneshu. 12th. No desire for sense objects, hearing, seeing sense objects. Yes. Avastudrik. 13th. Consider everything material to be. थोड़ा जोर से बोलो. हाँ, correct. Useless. 14. Again, similar to Jitendriya, he always controlled his senses, life, air, body, intelligence. 15th. Prashanta Kamo. Yes, he had subdued all his lusty desires because he engaged all his senses in service of Krishna. 16th. Non-envious towards devotees and the Lord. One thing very beautifully spoken here is in Shloka 34. All good qualities of the Supreme Lord exist forever in his devotee Prahlad. See, Lord exists in Goloka. He is there in everyone's heart. He is there everywhere. Like that, even Prahlad, he is there in Vaikuntha with the Lord, and simultaneously he is there in material world in Sutalok, where Bali Maharaj is there now. So in this way, when a devotee gets closer to the Lord, the devotee starts getting the qualities as that of the Lord. Can the devotee get all the qualities of the Lord to the fullest? No. Not all. He'll get some qualities partially. That also not completely. And then it is very beautifully said that when devatas would come together and discuss, who is that very, very wonderful devotee? So at that time, devatas would speak about Prahlad, who comes from the enemy clan. Because for devatas, asuras are enemies. And in the asura dynasty, Prahlad has taken birth. So they would give example of Prahlad. Devotee ho to Prahlad jaisa. They would speak like that amongst themselves. And very, very important thing in Shloka 36, all these qualities are glorified, no doubt. But one very, very important quality is, his true greatness was Vasudeve Bhagavati Yasya Naisargiki Rati. His natural attraction for Krishna. That makes him a great devotee. Natural attraction for Krishna. It is described that initially when we are practicing bhakti, our consciousness gets deviated and we get attracted to sense objects. As you go beyond anartha nivritti, that is nishtha, ruchi, especially in asakti stage, what happens is that you're doing some material activity and your consciousness, it flows towards Krishna. How amazing that will be. Yes. Now we are doing bhakti and we move towards material things. And while doing material activities, we'll move towards Krishna. This is called as being fully Krishna conscious. You don't want it at that point, but still you're pulled towards Krishna. That's called Yasya Naisargiki Rati. Now someone might ask, what does that mean? Having natural attraction, what does that mean? In 6 verses, Narada Muni is glorifying his own disciple. My disciple has this natural attraction for Krishna. And he says, please repeat. Nyasta kridanako balo jadavattan manastaya Krishna graha grihitatma na veda jagadidrisham. See, now these 6 shlokas which are coming, we can discuss for another 1 hour. But don't worry, I'll not do that. Yes. I'll try to summarize these 6 verses now. Nyasta kridanako balo. See, he was 5-year-old kid. And you see kids, how much they are eager to play. Yes. You can just look outside the window, you'll get to know. Yes. But Prahlad Maharaj, he would refrain from doing any kiddish activity. No question of playing. There's no question of playing. He was uninterested in any play activity. He did not want to play. He felt that's waste of time. Why? Why is it so? Because he was fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Jadavattan manastaya, fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. For us, it will be difficult to understand what does that mean. I'm also trying to comprehend. It's very difficult. Because when someone is fully Krishna conscious, he is enjoying so much that he does not want anything of this world. He does not want to play. He does not. Yes. Like for example, you have made something, say at your home, you have made the favorite item of your child. And the child is busy playing, what, PUBG? Video game? And you say that I've prepared this. The boy is so engrossed, fully absorbed, fully game conscious, that he's not distracted at all. He's not distracted at all. I've seen sometimes when people watch cricket, and especially the match between... very nice. Yes. So people are just mad, just looking. If there's a bomb blast on either side, still people will, hey, last ball. I've seen that personally. I've seen that. Why? They're so much absorbed that whatever takes place around for them, it's all insignificant. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj was so absorbed in Krishna consciousness. For him, everything else was insignificant. Many times people say, कि शनि ग्रह का प्रकोप है मेरे पे. I have these evil planets whose influence is somehow making me suffer. But complete opposite was there in case of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was also grasta by a graha. But that graha's name is Krishna Graha. How's that? Krishna Graha Grihitatma. My favorite line this is in this section. Krishna Graha Grihitatma. He's caught by the graha called Krishna. It means that he was so Krishna conscious. Wherever he would see, he would just see Krishna. That's the mood of a devotee who reaches the higher stage of bhakti. Wherever he sees Krishna. And in our Gaudiya literature, that is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, very beautiful shloka comes. It says, Sthavar jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti. Sarvatra hoy nija ishta deva spurti. Wherever a pure devotee sees, a perfected pure devotee, wherever he sees, he does not see anything moving or anything still. What he sees is his Ishtadev being present there. See, when we go to take darshan of Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, when we take darshan, we see that huge form of Jagannath, big eyes and hands straight like this. Yes? Everyone? But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to see Jagannath, he saw Jagannath like this, in Tribhanga, in threefold bending form. Because when it comes to a devotee, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us what it means to be a perfected pure devotee, he is able to see, oh, my Shyama Sundar is here. Whenever the Jagannath temple would be closed, especially after Snana Purnima, our Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to Alalnath, near Jagannath Puri. There's a beautiful form of the Lord with 4 hands. But even when the Lord would see that 4-handed form, he would see this only. Whenever he would go and take darshan of Lord Narasimhadeva, he would just see this. Krishna in his threefold bending form. That's what is called as Ishtadeva Spurti. You see anywhere, you see any deity, what you find is Ishtadev. I would not like to speak more on this topic because it's beyond our realization. But at least we should know what the devotee sees at that level. Now, this great personality who is so absorbed in Krishna consciousness, how was he doing his daily activities? See, shloka number 38. Sitting, walking, eating, lying down, drinking, talking, all of that was automatically performed. You know why? Govinda Pararambitaha. Because Prahlad Maharaj would always experience a tight embrace of Govinda. And because of the tight embrace, what was happening, how was he able to do all the different activities, he himself was not understanding. Srila Prabhupada gives some clarity on this because for us it's difficult, no? Prabhuji, what does that mean? So let's ask Prabhupada. Prabhupada, what does that mean? Govinda Pararambitaha. Prabhupada says that when a small child is scared by the mother and father, say the baby is in the cradle. So baby is not worried. It will just pass stool there only, urine there only. It will not endeavor not to get milk or whatever. It is just there in the cradle. Parents are taking care of everything. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, like parents embrace the child, Prahlad Maharaj is always embraced by Govinda. And because of that, he was not understanding how all these different activities are happening. Everything was happening automatically. Anyways, at our level, we shouldn't try all this. Yes. We should put conscious effort and do things. Yes. Pata chala, you're closing your eyes and driving the car. Govinda Pararambita. Now, look at symptoms of Prahlad Maharaj being on this level, where he has natural attraction for Krishna. Last section. What was Prahlad Maharaj doing? Kvachit rudati vaikuntha. Now we'll not go through the shloka, it will take time. Kvachit, sometimes. Rudati. What do you mean rudati? Prahlad Maharaj cry. Just imagine now, the entire hall is peaceful and suddenly someone starts crying loudly. Crying tears, rolling on the ground and crying. That was the situation of Prahlad Maharaj. He's sitting and suddenly he'll start crying. Kvachit hasati. He laughs. He would laugh loudly. Loudly. He would just point at some direction and laugh loudly. When you have some person like that here, what will you call that person as? Oh, very good. Mad. Yes. Or we'll say maybe he's ghost haunted. Yes. Prahlad was also haunted by Krishna Graha. And Srila Prabhupada, to make us understand this very important fact, he gives us a very nice situation which we all can connect to. So Prabhupada is saying that when the child is on the bed or the cradle and he sees that the mother has gone away and she is walking away from that place, and the child sees, and what the child will do? Cry. Child will cry piteously. And he'll cry so loud that the mother has to come back. And now when the mother is coming back, what the child will do? He'll laugh. He'll smile. This was the case of Prahlad Maharaj. All glories to Prabhupada. How we would have understood what was the mood of Prahlad Maharaj without all this understanding. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj would see, oh my Krishna is going away. And he would cry piteously and no one else would be able to see Krishna. And he is seeing. And after some time, he suddenly start laughing because he's seeing, oh my Krishna is coming back. And he laughs. Kvachit rudati, kvachit hasati. And sometimes, when he would just get into his own chintan, his meditation, he'll become extremely joyful because he would be absorbed in meditating on Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes. And in that mood, Udgayati, loudly he'll sing. Loudly. And sometimes, in great utkantha, he will call Nadati, he'll call out the Lord. In great utkantha, great anxiety. Oh Lord, where are you going? Don't leave me, don't leave me. And sometimes, Vilajjo Nrityati. Just imagine now all of us are sitting, there's no music. Suddenly one devotee gets up and starts dancing. By the way, during Prabhupada's time, all this would happen. Prabhupada is giving class, suddenly someone would get up and dance around and go and sit again. I don't know how Prabhupada tolerated all that. मैं तो माइक लेके बैठ नीचे. Prabhupada is amazing. This was the case. And here it is said, Vilajjo, shamelessly. You know why he would dance? I'm able to see my Lord, Hari bol. And he just dance without any music. Not needed. Because he is dancing on the tune of Krishna's flute. Why does he need any other music? And sometimes in the deep mood of being Krishna conscious, Anuchakara, he would imitate Lord's pastimes. And this we find in Krishna Leela also. By the way, again, don't try this at home. Because this is not for us. Because when someone is absorbed in Krishna consciousness, he is so absorbed, he is remembering the pastimes of the Lord and his hands and legs are also moving like that. They're looking at Krishna and they're also acting like that. And this is exactly what we see in case of the Braja Gopis and the Braja Gopas. When Krishna went away from the Gopis in the middle of the Rasa Leela, so at that time the Gopis, they sang the beautiful Gopi Geet. Just before that, just before that, they were all mad in separation from Krishna. And they were all remembering Krishna's pastime, and so deep that they were enacting the pastimes. One Gopi, she is standing on the branch of the tree and she is dancing like Krishna dancing on Kaliya. One Gopi is climbing another Gopi's shoulder like Krishna would climb on his Gopa's shoulder to steal butter. Another Gopi, now she is hitting a rock or this tree or a person in the way Krishna would hit the demons and kill them. And same thing with Gopas also. See, if someone's bodily limbs are moving, imagine how intense the absorption would be and how deep the absorption would be. That was the case of Prahlad Maharaj. That was the case of Prahlad Maharaj. He was not trying to act like Krishna. That has to be clear. He was not trying to become Krishna. But his absorption was so great, his limbs were moving like that. And finally, when Lord would come closer and touch him, feeling that touch, samsparshana, nirvrittaha, tushnim, Prahlad would go silent, completely silent, jubilant at times, hair standing on end. And the only thing that would take place is tears gliding from the eyes. And specifically here it is given. Aspanda, pranaya, ananda, salila, amilita ikshanaha, half closed eyes, and tears are flowing from the eyes of Prahlad. Can you imagine small 5-year-old boy displaying all these symptoms of ecstasy? Now anyone who sees him, what was their situation? Dussanga dinasya mana shamam vyadhat. Just anyone would look at this situation of Prahlad, even if he is not spiritually elevated, even if he is not realized, just looking at Prahlad, taking darshan of Prahlad, the person would be completely purified. Completely purified. So when I read this last line of this last shloka, one thought immediately came to me that this is the glory of becoming a pure devotee. See, when you become a pure devotee, perfected pure devotee, obviously you will come back to Godhead. That's okay. But then you know what? When we become a pure devotee, the first thing that takes place is Guru and Krishna are extremely pleased. If you want to really please Guru and Krishna, become a pure devotee. One disciple asked Jayapataka Swami Maharaj that, how can I please you? And Maharaj said, become a pure devotee. I'll be pleased. Yes. This is not just with one spiritual master. Everyone, including the entire parampara, everyone will be pleased when we become a pure devotee. And when we become a pure devotee, we'll be able to serve better. Because now we'll not be serving out of ego, out of anarthas, but we'll be serving with love at this level of pure devotional service. And more importantly, anyone who comes in touch with us, even on the street, even if the person is sinful, that person, since he is coming in touch with a pure devotee, that person will be purified and he will become a devotee. Tell me, isn't that a wonderful preaching? You're walking on the street and people looking at you, they're fainting in ecstasy. How's that? Or they're starting to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, even you, without you instructing them. Therefore, every single devotee should have this higher goal. If I have got connected to this glorious parampara of Gaudiya Sampradaya, I should endeavor to become a pure devotee. And to become a pure devotee, I need to follow in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj. He had those wonderful 16 qualities. I should endeavor to imbibe those. And when I imbibe those or endeavor to imbibe those, surely the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, will be attracted to us. All attractive becoming attracted to a devotee. Therefore, Saraswati Thakur always said, why are you so eager to see Krishna? You endeavor in such a way, you serve in such a way that Krishna will be eager to see you And this is the mood of our Sampradaya, that where we want to become qualified, where Krishna will get pleasure by looking at us. And therefore you can imagine, just by looking at Prahlad Maharaj, how much pleasure the Lord was getting. And just by describing about Prahlad Maharaj, how much pleasure his guru, Narada Muni, was getting. Therefore, as a devotee, our goal is to give pleasure to as many people as possible. That is possible when we become a pure devotee. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.